So it is that time of the year again where we discuss our worst movies of the year. Now, these are my top 10 worst movies of the year that I have seen. Now, I've seen 110 movies so far this year, and these are the 10 that I didn't particularly like that much. So, hey, some of you guys might like these films, so I'm very intrigued. But let me know your list down in that comment section below. What are your worst movies? Smash it down there, smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's get into this top 10 list right now. Number 10 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You remember that movie that came out on Netflix? You know, that reboot sort of rehash of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Well, yes, that is number 10 on my list because this movie is just one of those ones where I just was scratching my head, rolling my eyes constantly throughout the movie. Some of the kills were creative. I will give it that. There were some creative kills, but I just felt like the whole story just fell apart. The characters were insufferable. I was actually rooting for the guy to kill them. The actual story behind him, I wasn't a big fan of. There's a lot of things wrong with this movie. And after watching it, I just remember going, what the hell did I just watch? So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, it did not live up to the expectation that I thought it was going to be, and that is why it is at number 10 on my list. Number 9 is Sissy, another horror movie that just failed on all fronts for me. I never really got into this movie where I was like, hey, this movie is really, really cool and I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, when I go to a horror movie, there's only 3 things I want. I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want that anxiety feeling. And I just want to see some cool kills and have, like, a decent story. None of them were present in here. I felt like they had an idea with a concept of social media. That was really cool ideas, but I felt like they strayed away from that and it became a very predictable mess. And some of the kills, I was just kind of like, what is this? What is going on here? But hey, look, Sissy, it may be for some people, but for me, I just never was on the edge of my seat. I was mainly just bored watching this movie. I really was. It just was not there. Just didn't have that horror elements that I was looking for. And besides just the insufferable lead character that you just did not care about one single bit. And just the whole dynamic and just everything was just a complete jumbled mess. So for me, on my list at number 9 is Sissy. Number 8 is Senior Year, the new movie that was out on Netflix starring Rebel Wilson. Look, to me, this was just pandering to wokeness. It was, oh my god, it was just every single second of this movie was just, hey, look at this woke thing, look at this woke thing, look at this woke thing, let's make a joke about it, look here, bam, bam. And I was just, it would be okay if it was funny, but this is a comedy that isn't funny. So when you take away the actual core element of this movie, the comedic side of it, and it doesn't work for me, then I'm not going to like this movie at all. And having a person go into a coma, come back into the real world, like to our time, but still stuck in that time, comes in and goes to school when she's like 30. Like, it just didn't sit with me. It was just weird. I'm glad I didn't go around her having like a romantic sort of vibe with one of the students, but I just didn't care for it. I just really did not care. It had the typical tropes of like, oh, this guy's been around your whole entire life and you snubbed him your whole entire life. Oh, guess what? You're going to get with him. It was a predictable mess. I didn't find it funny. It just was horrible. So for me, coming in at number 8 is Senior Year. Number 7, Blonde. Remember that other Netflix movie? Look, this has one of the best performances of the year. I mean, Anna is absolutely stunning in this movie. She's really, really good. But you know what lets her down? The whole script. The whole movie itself. This is one of the most boring messes. Like, I had to take a break because this felt like a 5-hour movie. It just was dragging. I didn't see the point of it. Some people have also told me that it's just completely off track of what actually happened and everything like that. It's not even a true indication. But I also felt like the director was like, hey, look what I can do. I can give you a black and white here. I can give you a colored scene. I can do this transition. I can do this. I can do that. And I was just sitting there. I was like, none of it had any meaning. Like, I get it. If you're going to do black and white, have it have some meaning to it. Have it be like, oh, look, we're going back in the past. That's why it's black and white. Now the color is the future. But no, it was just switching from each thing. It was literally him just saying, look what I can do as a director. That's not how you make a movie. This was just insufferable from start to finish. A good performance ruined by the script and the directing of this film. So for me, in my top 10 is Blonde. Number 6 is Bros, like the gay comedy that is very unfunny. I did not really love. And look, to be honest, the one of the lead characters is the most insufferable character I've ever seen on television or on the big screen. Like I hated him. I hate him as we went through. He's just so needy, so pandering, so control freak. I didn't mind the other guy. I really did not mind him, but this whole movie is just not funny. And again, it's another comedy that does not hit the comedy for me. And when that doesn't happen, I'm not going to like this movie. Look, it has nothing to do with people being gay in this movie. I really don't care, give two shits about that. But it just didn't work. It did not work for me. It was unfunny, jumble mess, and characters that I just, oh my god, yeah, he was so annoying. You have no idea how annoying this character was for me. I was rooting for the other guy to literally just dump his ass and move on. I was like, get out of here. And there was some pandering to certain things like Abraham Lincoln's gay. Like, it's just these little things like that where I was kind of like, that didn't need to be in it. That's just stupid. And it just had little things like that that just, got under your skin a little bit. But overall, it's not a funny movie and it's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. So for me, number 6, Bros. Number 5, The Reef, Stalked, a shark movie. Look, I love the first Reef. I thought The Reef was an absolute fantastic shark movie and a really good one into that sort of genre because we've had some shockers. This one, I was really excited because I was like, dude, it's the sequel to The Reef. Let's see what it is. This is horrible, man. This is absolutely, like, horrible. People on kayaks, bro, one person dies. One person dies. Like, this was just, I was just sitting there, I was like, what's going on here? Like, it's horrible. The effects were freaking horrible. None of it made sense. Like, this is one of the worst shark movies I've ever seen in my life. And this may be one of my worst shark movies I've ever seen in my life. But there are others on this list that are even worse than this. And this was horrible. I didn't care for any of the characters. The characters were insufferable as well. So, it just fell flat on all accounts for me. So, for me, The Reef, Stalked comes in at number 5. Number 4, Shark Bait. Another shark movie. That was even worse. Some people get on jet skis and decide, you know what would be a good idea? Let's run into each other. Yeah, how'd that turn out? And then there's a shark. And then the shark is like stalking him and eating him and just, doing all this stuff. It's just horrible. It has the cliche moment where the boyfriend slept with the best friend. Oh, you're kidding me, right? It's not like I've never seen that plot point before. Damn, really? That is a plot point? It's horrible. This is absolutely one of the worst shark movies of all time. It's just so dumb. I was just, oh my god, man. I don't know how I made it through this movie. I honestly don't. This was just bland, boring, crap dialogue, and just insufferable. So for me, number 4, Shark Bait. Number 3, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It gets even worse. This movie is just one of those absolute horror shows. Literally. No pun intended. One of the worst green screens I've ever seen in my whole entire life. This whole movie is shot on a green screen, bar the actual scenes where they're in the actual barn, it's like the house itself. And it's very evident that it's on a green screen. It is horrible. Absolutely horrible. The whole storyline is horrible. Absolutely atrocious. There's nothing to like about this movie. There really isn't. Jeepers Creepers is not Jeepers Creepers in this movie. And it's just, I was just sitting there and I was just like, what on earth is going on here? This is just absolutely, like, this is one that you put on, you get drunk with your friends, and you laugh at. That's what you do. This is what this type of movie is. And it's just an insufferable mess if you're sober. So, number 3, Jeepers Creepers. Number 2, The Requeen. Shark movie. This is probably the worst shark movie I've ever seen. So, this is the whole premise of this movie, if you guys haven't seen it. So, they're on Hawaii or something like that. They're on, like, an island like that. They're in a hut, right? Guess what? There's a storm comes through, and it breaks the hut away. And this hut magically floats out to sea. Yeah. It's got the worst visual effects I've ever seen in my life. It's insufferable because of the dialogue. It's horrible. They decide they're going to set a fire on this straw hat sort of house thingy Like, this thing's made out of wood and straw. So they're like, oh, we light a fire. Let's see what could be the worst that could happen? Light this on fire. And it's just, I was just sitting there. It's horrible. And when she gets off it, oh my god, she gets attacked by a great white shark. I kid you not. In knee deep water. Great whites can't go into that, man. What is this? This made no sense at all. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever seen. All these shark movies that are in the top 10 here, they have the worst things. And these people just find a way to kill these sharks in ridiculous ways. And she does it here as well. It's horrible. Absolutely atrocious. And it is number 2 on my top 10 worst. Number 1. After Ever Happy. You guys know how I feel about this franchise. The fact that they're making another one, it's just, I don't know how. This is the exact same film as the last one. And it is the exact same character arc that he goes on. He is just an, oh my god, like, Tessa is an I can't believe I know the characters' names. That's how much I freaking hate this film. I actually know their names. Tessa doesn't learn anything. Her character arc from the first movie to now is just stagnant. And then the ending of this film is even worse. It's like, move on. This is just highlighting toxic relationships and be like, toxic relationships are good. They're great. No, leave his ass. He's an idiot. He's a wanker. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's horrible. He's a stalker, and it's just, I hate this movie. I absolutely despise this movie. It is the worst movie of the year for me. There is no redeeming qualities at all in this film. None whatsoever. It's just all over the place. There's like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at it. This guy's going on this road. It's horrible. It's the same movie I've already seen. Exactly the same. These characters just go on the same arcs every single movie. It's like, why are they just repeating the same mistakes? That's not good character development. That is them just repeating the same thing on over and over again. That's not how you write characters. So for me, this is the worst movie of the year. So there you have it. That is my top 10 worst movies of the year. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of my list? And what is your list? I'm very intrigued to see what you guys have seen, because we're not all going to see the same movies. There's probably movies that you guys have seen that I haven't seen, and you may think they're worse. Well, there's some movies I like that you think are bad. But that's the beauty of film. It's all subjective, and we all have our own opinions. But let me know yours down in the comments below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.